Hi BookTube, this is the On My Shelf tag.
I got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottle whiskey for the way.
I was tagged for this by Red over at Little Red Reader. She is delightful. She is absolutely delightful. You should go check out her channel. She does all the standard things like, tags and hauls and reviews and wrap-ups and that sort of thing. But she is just a pleasure to watch. I met her on Goodreads and I'm so glad I did because she's a lovely person. So go check her out. Now the way you do this tag is that you're given a set of numbers and then you go to that book on your shelf and you find it and then you talk about it. So she left me some numbers, so I'm just going to go with those, and here we go. So the first numbers that she gave me are 1 and 4. So shelf 1, let's just call this shelf 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is Rebel Heart by Moira Young. Got the receipt still in it. I love this series. I love this series so much. I really do. The last book, Raging Stars, coming out later this month, I think at the end of April. And this is apocalyptic dystopia, and I love it. I love the main character, who is Saba. She has a twin brother, Luke, that is kidnapped, and she goes on a journey to find him. And so Blood Red Road is the first book, and that kind of details that adventure. She meets some people, she has a lot of adventures, and she's kind of a badass, honestly. And then the second book, I didn't like as much as the first one, but I think the third book is going to redeem the series and be better than this one. It's kind of got an Old West sort of feel to it. And she's very unfamiliar with dealing with her emotions. And so she's a little bit backward. She's kind of backward where she's defensive about the things that she doesn't understand. She's like, well, why is that? Well, I don't understand that. So if you haven't checked out this series, you should, especially if you like apocalyptic YA. Next up is Shelf 2, Book 7. Let's see, Shelf 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is Immortal City by Scott Speer. I really liked this book. This book is so much fun, and it's a little bit of a mystery, a little bit of a romance, a little bit of fantasy. It's just really fun. It's about angels, and the angels in this book are all celebrities who all live in Hollywood. All the ways that we treat our Hollywood celebrities, in this book, they're all angels. And they are tasked with guarding the very rich who can afford their fees. So Jackson Godspeed, yes, seriously, that is his name, is an up-and-coming guardian, and he has to get away from it all one night. And he runs into Maddie, who is the other main character. So it's kind of their romance, their adventure. There's a little bit of a mystery going on in terms of a murder. So anyway, it's just a fun read. And Scott Speer is actually a screenwriter, and I think he's directed some music videos. It is a duology. I don't know if he's going to go any further with it. The second book is Natural Born Angel, and it's not available to listen to on audio. So I've read this one. I have not read Natural Born Angel yet. Definitely worth checking out. This is a solid 4.5-star read. Okay, next up, Shelf 3, Book 1. Well, that would be Divergent. I don't think I even need to say anything about this book. So yeah, Divergent. Okay, so next up we have Shelf 4, Book 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is Everwild. Everwild is book 2 of the Skinjacker trilogy by Neil Shusterman. This is, I think it's probably considered middle grade, but it is fabulous. This series is just, I got so much enjoyment out of this series. I listened to it on audio. It's all narrated by Nick Podell, and it's just a pleasure. It's about 2 kids. One is about 14 and one is about 16. They die, but they don't go on to the light at the end of the tunnel. They kind of get knocked out of the tunnel. And so they wake up 9 months later, and they are in this place called the Everlost. And the Everlost is kind of a world where the normal rules of physics here don't apply. It is inhabited all by children. The great thing about these books is that because it's all kids, kids can tell each other any kind of thing and they'll all believe it. It's kind of like when you say, well, it must be true because I read it in the paper or I saw it on the internet. It's that kind of thing. And so these kids tell each other, oh, well, this is true. Well, this is how it has to be. Well, you should be scared of that, and you shouldn't be scared of that. And, you know, all the other kids that they tell believe it. And so it's this hilarious look of how these two main characters are able to kind of navigate their way through this world. It's full of adventure. It's hilariously funny. I absolutely fell in love with it. So, okay, last one is Shelf 5, Book 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is Under the Light by Laura Whitcomb. I really liked this series. This is a duology, and this is the second book in the duology. And the first book is called A Certain Slant of Light. I loved this book. I loved this duology because I thought it was a whole new take on just ghosts in general. It was well written. I think Laura Whitcomb is an amazing writer. I love her writing. It's beautiful. And I love these two books. They've not been really rated terribly high, but I liked them. I'm glad I read them. So yeah, solid 4.5-star reads for me. So that is the On My Shelf tag. I am going to tag some people, but I don't know who off the top of my head, so I will list them at the end of this video and also in the description box below. And that was a lot of fun. So anyway, that's it for now for me, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Can you hear this? Sounds like I'm on the set of a Star Trek movie. It's tree frogs. And this is what it's like, boys and girls, to live in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by Amish people.